Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Red Tape Podcast. I'm your host, Demerious Nelson. This is brought to you by For the One Media, where we move progressively forward in a conservative way. Man, the Cowboys play today. It's a great day. Anytime they play, it's a great day. You always have a few heart attacks, but it's good. Today, we're going to discuss a little bit about self-development. I might mention the Cowboys, but we'll see. But it was a good weekend. Hey, y'all stay tuned to Red Tape Podcast. All right, man. Hey, it was a wonderful weekend. You know what's so spectacular about the weekend? I went down to Atlanta. My boy introduced me to some Krispy Kreme, Krispy Kreme bread pudding from this place called, I don't even remember, but it was amazing. I'm sorry for not remembering on here, guys. It was amazing. And, I was like, it was so good. I felt like I needed to come home and reinvent it. Try to do it again. See if I can replicate that magnificent taste. So I went and grabbed everything. And hey, needless to say, I made it happen. Made that happen. Made some chili. Threw some good Italian sausage in there. Some good ground beef, 93% lean. Some pinto beans. Some kidney beans, And then I added my special twist in there. It was great. It was good. Man, then made some jalapeno cornbread because I like eating chili with good old cornbread. So I had that and the bread pudding with some, what I had, ice cream, bluebell. I know y'all don't eat bluebell after all those mishaps, but it's still good to me. And some chili. And I had, a couple drinks. Y'all don't judge me. A couple drinks watching football. And now I'm thinking this morning, I'm like, whew, boy, stomach is killing me. But it's all good, though, because I've survived. No, I'm good, man. Hey, this was a good weekend. Got to watch some football. Got to make some good food. And then on top of that, the Cowboys game is today. So it's all great for me. It's all good until hopefully 10:30. We got to win because the Giants are a tough team. Very tough team. But we'll see what's up. We will see what's up. Giants got a full complement of weapons. The Cowboys got a new beast on the D-line, so I'm ready to see what we're going to do, man. I'm ready to see what awaits us. We should have made that move for Jamal Adams, but I hear the price was too high. He's the safety for the Jets. So, just a few things happened. Trade deadline passed, but it's all good, man. It is all good. Hey, I'd like to thank y'all all for who listen to me consistently each and every day all around the world. I appreciate that, man, because one thing about this thing, you never know what's going to happen. You could be a hit or maybe not. But one thing that I'm going to do in everything that I do always is I'm going to keep trying. Failure is what I look forward to. I embrace failure because I know the more I fail, the closer I get to a success. The closer I get to a yes. The more no's I hear, the closer I'm going to get to a yes. So failure only motivates me. And just to see this elevating each and every day and people embracing and listening to it, I just like to thank all of y'all out there. So I appreciate the ratings that y'all go on all these different platforms, all these different streaming services and rate your boy's show because he appreciate it. The Red Tape Podcast appreciate it. Hey, For the One Media definitely appreciate it. We appreciate it because it doesn't happen without y'all. I'll just be sitting here like I am now by myself, talking to myself. It is kind of crazy to think about. But anyway, we want to get right to the topic of the day, and that is self-development. Self-development is of the utmost importance, and I think in having, developing yourself, failure is a part of that. Failure is a part of developing. Failure is a part of development in anything, and people that can embrace failure and figure out ways to navigate it or help it make them better are the people that seem to have a lot of success. Now, I know in life, a lot of times self-development can be long. It sucks, because it always comes with pain. It always comes with the no. And that's how you develop. It always comes with discipline in yourself. And that's one thing that a lot of times, I just said I had a drink yesterday. That's not good. But I did it, because something I wanted to do. But does that help my self-development? No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Actually, probably it deteriorates my development if you really want to be honest about it. But it's just something that I do because, we all have these little habits. Now, it's not a habit. I don't want y'all calling, sending me to get some counseling. But just every once in a while, I might have a little taste. Not too much. But when it comes to self-development, man, you want to try to do things that's going to make you better. Do things that'll help you grow. And I know everyone has a different way of how they see self-development. But there are a few things that I think we all must do in order to succeed in this area of self-development. One thing that I think that you have to do is what Benjamin Franklin said. He said, for the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head. Buy as many books, buy everything that you need, because you have to continue to learn. I know a lot of people, if you fail to learn, then you're going to fail to be successful. In life, you have to be consistent in the fact that you are consistently trying to learn and develop in some form, whatever that may be, whether it be reading books, whether it be reading articles, whether it be watching the Netflix and you're watching the National Geographics, but you always have to find some way to learn. Like when you have kids, you always have to develop them each and every day. And then in developing your children, you got to make sure that you are developing yourself as well. You're learning some new skill. You're not just sitting at the house on the couch doing the same thing every day. You have to do something to help you develop as a person. Now, I know, just like I said, we all have these guilty pleasures. We all have these things we like to do to relax, because learning sometimes it gets dry. So you have to do things that aren't dry, and you have to do things that help you learn, whether you learn auditory, tactile, you're a visual learner. You got to figure out your best way to learn. And that's the thing I think that's what's important for our children. For the parents to pay attention to your children and figure out what's the best way that they learn. So you don't be coming up to them talking about, look, use your head. You don't have any common sense. Do I need to send you to Job Corps? Because that's what they try to do to me. My dad he was like, look, this guy in his self-development, I don't know if he's going to make it. He's like, son, you're going to pick it up. You're going to have a sense of urgency about what you do in life, because if not, I'm just going to send you to Job Corps. Yeah, it was that bad, guys, because I was just getting through school, man. Look, you play sports, you're not worried about nothing else. I really hated school all the way. I mean, I hated going to school, but I went because my homies were there. We're going to hang out. We're going to do what we do after school, right? So my dad was like, look, get it together, you go to Job Corps. Needless to say, I ended up going to the military, and it helped me out. Help in my development. I guess I was just lazy coming up, man. A lot of boys end up seeming to be lazy growing up. You do what you have to do. The bare minimum. That was me. If my name wasn't Demerious, it would have been bare minimum Nelson, because that's what I'm going to give you. But not anymore, though. I've stepped it up. I've, gained a little wisdom, and I'm motivated. Now, I always had motivation about things, but it wasn't about learning. Now, I have a motivation about learning in the way that's going to help me grow, because one thing that I always learned, that if you want to hide something from a man, you put it in the book. They specifically say you want to hide something from a black man, you put it in the book. So guess what? This black man not going to let you put something in the book and just gonna sit there on the shelf, because I'm going to pick it up and read it, and then I'm going to tell everybody around me, hey, this is what I learned. I would advise you to go do the same thing. That's the other part of self-development. You got to have people that's going to hold you accountable, each other. Just like me studying for the LSAT right now. My boy text me and say, hey, man, don't forget, you got to study for that test because it's coming up. I got a few weeks left. Going to be taking this test just to see what I do. We're going to shoot some jumpers. Hopefully I can hit a few threes like Steph Curry, get out of there with a great score, and that'll be it. Now, if I don't get a good score, it'll only be because of me, because I didn't put all the time in to develop myself when it comes to studying. Because a lot of times when we fail, we blame it on other people. We blame it on the system. We blame it on the standardized tests. And I understand tests can be difficult. Some people say they aren't good test takers, and that is true. Some people get nervous and get anxious about it, and they really, truly do know the material, but it's just something about being in that room, in that environment, sitting in that 4x4 foot cell, trying to get this work done. That's how it is, sitting at a desk, and it's all quiet, and everybody, all you hear is a paper turn, maybe a little cough here and there, and then a pen. I think it's online. Yeah, the test is actually online. But y'all remember that. Standardized test, the only thing you hear is some erasing, a little cough. Somebody might shake a leg or two, do a few, erase a little bit on the paper. Then turn that Scantron in. But now it's electronic. So thank God, that may be better or worse. We'll see. But, it just comes to test taking and things like that. Sometimes it can hinder your development because you feel like, hey, I'm already not good at test taking. So the last thing I want to do is take one. So that's all So that's just a part of it, man. We're going to have to do things. We're going to fail. If I fail that test, or if I don't get the score that I wanted, I'm going to go back in there and do it again, right? Have a better plan of action to be more prepared the next time it comes around. Now, I know y'all like, well, don't even bring that. Don't even say that to yourself. You got to get it the first time, man. You're right. I want to get it the first time because I don't want to pay another $200 for a test, all right? Just giving money away. So I don't believe in giving money away, so guess what? We got to get it done. But that's something interesting about Benjamin Franklin's comment. For the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head. And that's what I do. That's what I think we all have to do. We have to invest in ourselves. We have to invest in books, invest in different learning tools, different ways of learning, different courses, whether some certificates, whether you go to trade school, you go to traditional college, whether you're on your job. You always got to elevate your level of learning and self-development. Because without learning, you don't develop. You're just here. And guess what? You just waste away. So you got to do things that's going to help you grow in those areas, especially if you're trying to lead somebody, whether it is yourself or other people. The one thing that people hate is a leader who doesn't have the ability to lead. Now, all the time, you don't have to have the innate ability to lead or born as a natural leader, but some things that help you become a great leader is learning. People will listen to you if you have information that is conducive to growth. People will listen. People will be willing to learn what you have to teach. Now, if you don't know anything and you're out here faking it, we're going to figure that out quick. Just like a kid. They know who they can get over on and who they can't. They know who can actually teach them something and who can't. You know, they don't want to be dealing with no idiot. And no one wants a dumb leader, right? I think that's what some people feel about President Trump. I don't think he's a dumb leader at all, but I know some people feel like, man, why is this guy leading our nation the way he's leading it? You know? But some people have their feelings on it. You know, one thing I say is, hey, before you judge a man, figure out if you can do the job, number one. Number two, in your development, like people have all these different, I don't want to get off on that tangent, but one thing I think about is this. You have people that's talking about, that's worried and concerned about our nation. But then you ask them, do you know about the Constitution? Then you ask them, do you know about all these different things as far as laws in your own city? Do you know what's up for to be voted on the next election? Do you know all these things? Are you prepared for it? And people are like, no. See, that's important. That's important to your development, because if you don't select the right people or don't vote at all, then some way, somehow, these people that we put in office may hinder our development as a nation, may hinder your development in your city or in your county, may hinder your development in your neighborhood if you got a HOA. So you got to be careful and understand. You got to develop yourself in that area, because it's only gonna strengthen you. You know, some areas we hate learning. People hate math, so because they're not really good at it or don't understand the concept, so they tend to be weak in it. So instead of strengthening that, they're like, man, I don't need math. Just give me, as long as I can count to 2 and count my money, I'm good. And that's great for the most part. I mean, until you have to do something in your house or you put some, something in your yard, you need math. Just like reading. Some people don't like to read, but I insist on getting the book. And if it take you a whole year to read, man, it should take me a whole year. Look, my attention span is short, real short. So you put me in somewhere, it used to be really short. You put me somewhere with a book, guess what? It's night time. I don't care what it is. The Bible, it can be anything. It's night. I read 2 words and it'd be like, in the beginning, sleep, gone. This is how books were for me. But I had to learn to be disciplined. I had to learn the importance of learning and developing myself, because unless you can, just like the land, unless you can cultivate it, unless you can help your mind grow, unless you can feed that beast inside of you, then you're nothing. That's the great thing about life. We're here to learn, we're here to create, and we're here to develop ourselves and help other people develop. And then in developing each other, the more developed countries you have, the better it is for you to get out of that third world mentality, that poor mentality that keep us down. Not saying these people that are in third worlds or underdeveloped countries or poor people on the street, homeless people on the street, ignorant people in neighborhoods. There's one thing that's a common theme, that a lot of times what lacks is the education. So that helps in the self-development because what you don't know, you're ignorant to, right? I heard this lady talking about skydiving, and it was a quote in there. I didn't know what it was about. She's like, oh, that's actually skydiving. Well, I'm ignorant to skydiving, but I learned something. So I looked it up because maybe one day I'll go. So a lot of times where you see poor, where you see crime, where you see homelessness, where you see underdeveloped countries is because they don't have the education they need there. So it is important to self-develop yourself so you can then go into these places with the education that you have, with the knowledge that you have, so you can build wells so they can have water, so you can build homes, structural places so they can have somewhere to sleep in safety. So you can do all these things throughout the world. So that's why it's important for each person who has the ability. In America, there's no one, everybody in America should be learning. Now, I know some places it's tougher than others considering the situations. You know, some places they shooting bullets more than others. Some places it's just dangerous. And that's what it is. It's real dangerous. But we got to do our best as leaders in this country to help in the development of this country by developing yourself first and then helping those to see the value of education by your actions. And then they'll see the value of education and want to do the same thing. That's why self-development is of the most importance. It is very important. It is very important. So I just want to throw that out to y'all because I think leaders, we got to understand and get back to self-development. Don't get too caught up in the things that you can't control. Control those things you can and try to make a difference in what you have in front of you. Because we all have gifts. We all been blessed with something to do. Like my dad always said, hey, y'all get out of here. Y'all know y'all got something to do. And then one thing you don't want is to get some good instructions about the things you could be doing because it's going to entail something that you don't want to do. Washing the car, cutting some grass, anything outside of watching TV. But I have to tell y'all today, you got to do something that you don't want to do so we can make the change that we need to see. We need you. The world needs you, each and every one of y'all, to keep developing yourself so we can be better. What can I do to better the community is the question that you have to ask yourself. What can I do to better myself is a question you have to ask yourself. Because when you better yourself, you're going to better your community, your family, and your generations that come after you. They're going to see those habits if you're still living, and they're going to want to duplicate those good things. Now, you don't want to get a habit of, all right, we're going to pour up this drink. My family, that's what we do. We're going to pour up a drink. Now, you don't want to develop that, but do want to develop good things and good habits because it's important, guys. Hey, I know this was a boring one today, but I think it's necessary because I think self-development, without it, man, we lost, brother. We are lost, sister. But anyway, hey, guys, this is the Red Tape Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Demerious Nelson. This is brought to you by For the One Media. Make sure you check us out at the Red Tape Podcast on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we on there. Believe it, baby. Hey, y'all have a great day. Peace.